Good morning, everybody. I've been receiving a lot of email and even some comments on my blog and on my YouTube site about what dies you can use in the Cuttlebug. Now, as everybody probably knows, I have the Big Shot and I love it. I think it's a wonderful tool. But for those of you who may already have the Cuttlebug and, don't want to invest in a Big Shot, don't worry. You can still use the dies that are in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, most of them, with your Cuttlebug. So let me do a demonstration to show you. So there's my Cuttlebug. I'm going to move my Big Shot out of the way. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to start off by showing you one of the original dies. So these are the original dies that are in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. This one is actually the circle one. So I'm just going to take a piece of paper and run it through my Cuttlebug. Now, in order to run it through the Cuttlebug, I need to use my two B plates. So let me get those. So I'm going to put one on the bottom. Die face up, paper. And then my other B plate on top. And I'm just going to run that through. There we go. Just going to take it loose. And voila. You can see those cut out perfectly fine. And let me put the original up here. You can see that there's more than enough clearance for it to run through the Cuttlebug. Next, I'm going to use a Big's die. Okay, now a Big's die is a little wider than the original. Okay, about a finger worth wider. But it's still narrow enough to fit through the Cuttlebug. So you can definitely use it. So once again, my B plate. I'm going to put a piece of cardstock on top of my die, which is face up, and then another B plate. And run that through. And there we have it. Voila. Okay. So, some of the other items that we sell in the catalog, let me just get this one, are these border dies. Now, with the border dies, you do need the special platform, which, as you can see, is thinner than a normal platform. Let me get my platform from the Cuttlebug. So you see there's the Cuttlebug platform. This is the one for the border. So it's much longer, but of course it's more narrow. So we can still use it in our Cuttlebug. So I'm going to put that platform down. I'm going to use the plates. You have to buy the plates also. They come with it, the cutting plates. Then I have my border die, which this is the birds and branches that my secret sister was sweet enough to send me. Put that on top. Piece of paper. And my second cutting plate. And I'll just feed that through. There we go. So no problem with that one going through the machine either. And I'll just pop out some of my shapes. Those are the two birds. Aren't they adorable? I have a card that I made with this as well, that I made with the birds and blooms. You'll have to go to my blog, which is in the bottom right hand side, to see the card that I made with the birds and blooms and the scallop circle. Now, speaking about the scallop circle, yesterday I used the same sandwich that I did for paper, which is a B plate, my die, then I put chipboard, and then I put my other die. Ran it through, no problem. And this is the long boards that are available through Stampin' Up! They're nice and thick. So you could definitely use your chipboard in your Cuttlebug as well. let me show you the Sizzix. You can use these in your Cuttlebug. Once again, I'm going to do a B plate. Well, I'm sorry. Now I have to put down my A plate, which is the platform. Then the B plate. My Sizzix die face up. Get a piece of paper. Going to put that on top of my die. And then lastly, my second B plate. And I'm just going to feed that through. Got quite a pile of stuff going here. And once again, it cuts perfectly. So there's my flower. This is from the flower dies. There's 4 of them in the Sizzix that you can buy through Stampin' Up as well. Now, let me show you a die that you cannot use through the Cuttlebug, and I'll explain to you why not. So, this is the Biggs XL. Now, the Biggs XL will actually fit through your Cuttlebug. That's not the problem. The problem is the cutting plates for the Biggs XL are too wide for the opening. See, I can't fit it in there. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch too wide. So that's why you can't use the Biggs XL in the Cuttlebug. Now, I've heard about people who have taken their cutting plates and they've trimmed off 1/8 of an inch. If your husband has a lot of nice tools or you have a lot of nice tools, you could probably do that. I've also heard where people have taken 2 of the B plates, 2 sets of them, and then fed it through with them butting up to each other. I've never tried that. I don't have a second set of plates for my Cuttlebug, so I could not try that. But I have heard that that has worked for some people. If you're intent on buying the Biggs XL, I would suggest that, you know, there's a couple of blogs that show how to use the Cuttlebug plate with it, 2 of them. I'll try to put those on my blog as well, so I would probably look at that and see if this is the way you want to go. Of course, with the Big Shot, you have no problem with the Biggs XL, so if you can afford it, definitely would say go the way of the Big Shot. So that's all of the cutting plates that Stampin' Up sells. That's all the different types. I will do a separate tutorial on the textures plate and the embossing.